Hey everybody, my name is Che from Lounging Guitars, and I'll be showing you how to do a basic setup on the Fender Jazzmaster using the Music Nomad Keep It Simple setup method. In the past, the Fender Jazzmaster has been pretty notorious for being hard to play, hard to set up, hard to keep in tune with its floating bridge, the tremolo system, and all the mystery surrounding the electronics. But through the setup, I'm going to show you how to make your Jazzmaster play as well as it can, keep in tune, and be very stable. And to do the setup, I'll be using these tools from Music Nomad. So I'll be checking the nut slot height on this guitar coming off of the first fret with the Music Nomad nut height gauge. So if you look at the gauges, they are clearly marked for what strings you'll be checking off the first fret. I'll be checking the nut slot height coming off of the low E and the A string. So I'll be using the 0.02 inch or the 0.50 millimeter gauge under the low E and the A string. In the playing position, I'll be placing the feeler gauge right over the first fret underneath the low A and E string. So there is just enough room to place the gauge right over the first fret under the E string without pushing it up. And then, let's see, right under the A string as well without pushing it up. So that nut slot height is great. Now we'll do the same for the D and the G string. And again, in playing position on the D and the G string, I'm going to check nut slot height. And then I'll do the same thing for the high E and B strings with the feeler gauge. So the D string seems a little bit low coming off the nut, just slightly, but this one plays great, so I'm going to leave that slot alone. Otherwise, if it's too low and it's causing a lot of buzzing, you'll need to fill and re-slot that nut, or you may need a brand new nut altogether. So if the nut slots are too high and the strings are too high coming off the first fret, we'll need to use the Music Nomad nut file set to shave down the nut slots. These are diamond coated nut files which work great and they have a great handle to them. And so what we're going to do is loosen the string and just pull it to the side, and then we will file the nut in a downward motion. So first you want to start parallel with the string, and then at the end we want to do a small downward motion. And we want to take off little bits of material at a time, or we'll have the risk of taking off too much material where we'll need to fill that slot again and re-slot, which is a lot of work. So I would say be careful, take off a little bit, a couple strokes at a time, and check that string height at the first fret again, and repeat that process with the different gauged files going through all 6 strings.